All right. Good morning, legends. Welcome to Wake Up Call number 178. This is a special week. This is a special week because we have invited our customers to join us. And for any of the customers that are listening right now, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you're here or not, but it doesn't matter. I hope that you are. We meet every morning on this call, and we just learn from one another. We lift one another up, and honestly, we ignore the rest of the world, and we support each other. That's what we do every morning, and that's the amazing part of who we are and what we do. So today, and this whole week, we are providing special training from within. From the experts. We want you to learn. We want your 2021 to just be fan-freaking-tastic. And by the way, just in case you don't know, I suffer from positivity and I'm highly contagious. So anyway, that's where I'm at. 2021 is blue skies and growth. And I hope by the end of that next year, it'll look nothing like 2020. So anyway, with that being said, this morning, I have the honor of not only having Timothy Chin as a trainer, as an affiliate for Mailbox Power, but he is also going to teach us today. Timothy Chin is a nationally recognized speaker, writer, business consultant, social media influencer. He's built multiple million-dollar businesses and has coached and trained more than 30,000 top business executives and sales professionals over the last 20 years. And he's also spoken in front of 3,500 audiences, which is why he showed up and messed with me this morning a little bit. That makes some sense, right? He is a former host of his own business show on ESPN Radio for 7 years. His passion is teaching business how to grow sales through generosity, networking, and strategic relationship development, and creating profitable joint ventures. Are you guys already excited? Because I am. I mean, geez, this guy's got it going on, and he's right here within us. He was the founder and CEO of Referral Leaders International that grew to be the third largest networking organization in America. His latest ventures include founding and being the CEO of Prime Marketing Services, which provides multiple products and services to businesses and consumers, including Wi-Fi streaming, TV, banner season appreciation marketing systems, boot sales now, and his newest acquisition, RankMe123.com, a reputation management company that helps small businesses rank in the top 3 of their local Google search. Anyway, folks, I turn this call over to my good friend, Timothy Chin. Timothy Chin, take it away, my friend.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm not sure how I got the Monday assignment, after a long weekend, but I said, Joe, just give me whatever day, and he picked Monday. So anyway, I'm glad to be here. And yeah, I've added banner season to my bio because I'll tell you what, I have never in my 40 years of business been with such a great group of leaders and coworkers and co-laborers, and we are making a difference, and we need to tell the whole world about that. Joe threw me a little bit of a curveball yesterday when he went from, hey, we're used to our IRPs being on here to our customers being on here. He said, let's make it customer centric. Well, what I had prepared wasn't really customer centric. So I'm going to make it customer as we go, because even our customers, I'm assuming most of them have a business they own or they're in sales. They're not just here to send a card to grandma once a week. By the way, wasn't Casey's idea about sending his grandmother a card the last 2 years of her life just totally amazing last week? I stood convicted. My mother will be 92 in March, and we get down there once or twice a year to see her. And so my fiance and I are going to try to send her 5 cards a week. And that all came from Casey. First of all, I'll get more inheritance money, so thank you, Casey. But more importantly, it'll bless my mom. So that was a powerful training, Joe, he did last week when he filled in for you. So my topic was find an influencer and find gold. And so along those lines, I'm going to make a little bit of a title switch so that I can make it applicable to everybody and say how to hunt for, catch, and work with whales. That's an interesting title. How to hunt for, catch, and work with whales. So let me ask all of you a simple question. You don't have to answer out loud. When you start a new business, do you like to go slow or fast? Well, everybody says I like to go fast, but 90% of them work like they like to go slow. I mean, when you look at, we have one of the top, in my professional opinion, one of the top 2 or 3 business tools in America. Why are we not telling everybody? So you may say, your mind may tell you, like, I'm much older than I look. I'm 62, right? And my mind tells me I can still outrace my 34-year-old fiance. And I had open heart surgery this year, 4. I not one open heart, then 3 other heart surgeries. And about a month ago, I outran her in a parking lot. Now, see, my mind told me I could. Now, the next day, my body said you shouldn't have. Okay. But so sometimes we want to go fast, but our actions say we want to go slow. So first of all, what is a whale? A whale in business is a person of great influence who can and will promote you to other whales and the circle of people they hold influence over. Now, there's one irrefutable law of business that I have taught and practiced for over 20 years. And that is to be, whether you're an insurance agent, a realtor, I don't care what you are. Okay. If you're going to be successful, you need to know who your perfect client is. I didn't say ideal. We're used to hear that word ideal. There's a very slight difference between ideal and perfect. Very slight. But the slight difference between looking for that ideal client and looking for that perfect client, the results are about 70% different. And that when you're searching out and building your plan to sell to that perfect client, your close ratio goes through the roof. The difference between ideal, and think about it, because I'm looking at, you'll be in a networking event. Well, who's your ideal client? When I'm in a networking event, I say, who's your perfect client? Okay, so here's the formula. Every one of us has to identify who our perfect client is. Who's our perfect client for banner season? Business people, sales professionals. If you're a customer here today, by the way, we see so many new faces today from our customers. You need to just get on board as an IRP and get going with us. This is the real fun bunch in the company, okay? So you need to get on board, upgrade, talk to your sponsor today. Joe, you can pay me later for that comment. Okay, so who's your perfect client? And then here's the question. Who's the influencer over that perfect client? For instance, who's an influencer over a home buyer, a loan officer, and a realtor? So if you wanted to sell insurance to new home buyers, would it make sense to try to work with the influencers over those home buyers? Especially if you're buying a home for the first time, you don't understand homeowners insurance. You don't understand jewelry riders and gun riders and all the insurance. You've never done it before. And so those two people are in a highly classified space to influence you. So if I want to sell insurance, my perfect client for insurance is everybody. But if I'm going to focus on new home buyers, the influencers are real estate and mortgage. Okay. And then the third part of the puzzle to success is, what's the irresistible offer to the influencer? So if I want to get in front of young couples that haven't bought a home yet, the influencers, when they do get ready, would be a mortgage and realtor. So I've identified the influencer over my perfect audience. Now, what's the irresistible offer to get that referral? Now, you can use that formula in any business. I don't care what business you're in. Okay, if I'm a realtor, who's my perfect client? People that want to buy a home or sell a home. Okay, so how could we leverage, and I'm just using this as an example for our customers as well, how could we leverage ourselves to help a realtor and a lender want to refer their clients to us if we're an insurance agent? Very simply, by going into our list builder and building out a list of 150 to 200 potential buyer clients and listing clients, share them with the realtor, but not just share the list, but teach them how to get to them. So all of a sudden, we're no longer an insurance agent. We're a professional sales coach. See, for years in the mortgage and insurance space, over 25, I would go to networking events, and there'd be the lenders over in this corner and the realtors in this corner of the chamber, and the lenders were afraid to talk to the realtors. So they would just talk to each other. And I'd walk right over in the midst of 25 or 30 realtors at a chamber event and start greeting them. But my name badge said Timothy Chen, Realtor Success Coach. It didn't say Timothy Chen, Benchmark Mortgage. It said Timothy Chen, or Farmers Insurance. It said Timothy Chen, Realtor Success Coach. So obviously every realtor would say, hey, Tim, what's a Realtor Success Coach? And I go, that's a great question. I help every realtor I meet add 2 transactions a month to their closing roster. And they said, well, how much does that cost? I said, well, there's 2 plans. There's a $7,000 a year plan and the free plan. Well, which one do you think they all wanted to hear about? They wanted to hear about the free plan. Realtors are cheap. All of you on here that are realtors are cheap. Linda Bobsky's not. She spent a lot of money with me, so I got to take that back. All right. She's been a coaching client. Okay. So, but my point is, so they say, well, tell us about the free one. I said, well, we're going to do 1 coaching session, and in that session, I'm going to show you how to make an extra $100,000 per year. At the end of the session, you'll have a choice to hire me as your coach because you'll feel like I can really do that, or we can become your mortgage company of choice, and you don't have to pay me anything. We'd much rather be their mortgage company because we were going to make, a couple, $3,000 per loan over a long period of time. And so you went in as a success coach, but you have to bring value to that influencer. They're not going to, refer to you just because you're pretty, not because you're handsome. Yeah, I know that's heartbreaking. Joe's gotten far with his looks over the years. Okay. But you got to be real to do that. So a whale is that person fit. So perfect client, who's the influencer, what's the irresistible offer? For me, it was always, I had coaching I could offer. You pay me $1,500 an hour to coach, or I could give to you for free. But all of us have something we could offer. Again, showing them how to get buyers and listing from our listing, from our list builder. Okay, that's the way to do it. Now, what are some examples of influencers? Well, they're all kinds. They're sports figures, they're media personalities, business executives, coaches, ministers, some politicians, not many, some politicians would fit in there. It's anyone who could single-handedly explode your business. Who is that? You're not thinking. I love ministers personally because they're easy to get to, and they're standing not right now. Well, some churches, my church is still closed, unfortunately, till February. Largest Methodist church in the world, and we're closed till February. But my point is, my pastor preaches to 13,000 people live every Sunday and 100,000 on air. Is that an influencer? Yeah. So in my first week of banner season, I sent him $150 worth of product. Why? Because I wanted to get his attention, because he has 1 granddaughter. I've got 3, but he's got 1. And so I took pictures and mugs and tumblers and the metal plate, and I did nothing but granddaughter pictures with him and his wife. And all the family on brownies. I mean, I sent them everything. And they got the package on the day they got home from vacation. And he emailed me. He said, Tim, we got home from vacation today. This package was on our front porch. And Levon and I, that's his wife, we opened the package. And in 40 years of ministry, we've never received anything like this package. He then went through the gifts one by one. I sent a picture of the inside of our church. We have the largest stained glass window in the world. It's 3 NBA court sizes, is how big our stained glass window is. $90 million auditorium. He said that alone was a Hallmark card. I just put it on the outside of the card. And he said, we put the brownies in the freezer. We're taking them to the lake on Memorial Day to eat them all as a family, because all their children and all their family, I put them all on one brownie. And I said enough for all the family. And he went through each gift. And then he came to the last one, which was this 5x7 plate, my fiance and I. And I had a picture of him and Levon and his granddaughter on the front steps of the church a year ago, Easter, before COVID. He said, that was my favorite gift, and this is going on my desk at church. My picture is on the desk of the largest Methodist minister in our denomination, the most, written 40 books. And every time he looks at this, he's going to think of me. Now, here's the problem. I don't have anything retail to sell them. I'm not an insurance agent. I'm not active in real estate. And but I have to tell you what happened. This was in August. 2 weeks ago, he emailed me. He said, we still can't get over these gifts. I've never gotten a second email, thank you. And so anyway, that's how you influence a whale. You identify them. So if I'm going to write to a pastor, here's what I'm going to write in a card. It's going to say something like this: Dear Pastor so-and-so, I've heard great things about your church. I just want to thank you for all the ministries that you bring to our community. I know that ministers are underpaid and overworked, but I wanted to let you know that our family appreciates your church. And I'm going to put a picture of the church on the outside. Last week, I was out taking pictures of churches all over Kansas City to send a card to the pastors. Why? Because I'd love to show them how to market their church. I'd love to show them how to use the list builder to put the church address as the address, and then in a 1 mile radius, start sending out the 24 card recipe campaign. That's just a good neighbor gift from the church. It's hard enough to get people to come to church, so the church spends $100 a month sending out 300 cards, within a mile radius of their church. Do you think someone might come visit? Or they could get even smarter and just send it to new move-ins. But that's why I'm doing it. Churches need to have marketing budgets. If they ran them like I did when I was in ministry for 15 years, every church I went to doubled because we marketed. So even those are a customer. But I want influencers, no matter what I'm doing, customers here, whatever your business is, I want influencers to know who I am. And that's how you approach them, with appreciation for what they do for our community. A high school football coach, nobody gets a newspaper anymore, but back in the day, I would cut out on Saturday morning all the newspaper articles of the high school football teams that won the night before. I'd send a copy of that article inside a card to the coach saying, hey, coach, I know you're yelled at, not appreciated. It's a tough job. You hardly get paid anything. Congratulations on your win. Thank you for what you do in building character in the young men of our community. And I'd send them a card. Politicians, you think many politicians are loved? No. So I sent them to the mayor. You have a tough job. I didn't even vote for you. I want to let you know that I appreciate your service to our community. Those are the ways that you start doing it. Now, you're mainly going to run into celebrities. For you guys that live in LA, I've run into more celebrities at LAX than any airport in the world. I've run into more celebrities. And, and you're going like, is that really, and you want to go ask for an autograph. You never ask for an autograph. You never do that. There's a strategy for when you run into someone like that. And I always walk up. I would never forget. I met Bo Jackson in the airport in Phoenix after leaving LAX, Phoenix, and then to the rest of the world. And I'm from Kansas City, and I think Bo could have been the best baseball player in history had he not tore up his hip playing for the Raiders. So I went up to him and said, hello, Mr. Jackson. It's nice to meet you. I'm from Kansas City. And I just want to congratulate you for all of your success and all your future endeavors. That's what you say to a celebrity. I want to congratulate you on all of your past success and all of your future endeavors. And then you fight through the urge to ask for an autograph. But I was a former Bo fan because he was very rude that day. He said, I don't want to talk about baseball. That's not part of my life anymore. I said, well, that's okay. I'm just a big fan. And because I saw 2 miraculous plays live as a fan that I've never seen before in baseball, and he did both of them. But anyway, I've done that to many celebrities. And then they would say, well, who are you? See, we have to show interest in a whale. It can't be for what they can give to us. We have to look for the small little things we can give to them, even if it's as small as encouragement. Because I want to tell you, even whales need encouragement. I can guarantee you Miley Cyrus needs some encouragement, like, to get a brain or something. They all need something. And it may just be a word of encouragement to do that. You can't swim with whales if all of your friends are tadpoles and minnows. Did you get that? Let me say that again. You can't swim with whales if all your friends are tadpoles and minnows. I mean, I feel like I'm in tall cotton that I have Joe Kennemore's cell phone on my cell phone. I feel fortunate to have Casey Eberhardt's phone number on speed dial, and he'll answer my call most of the time. He doesn't have to make some, cutoff there. But do you understand what I'm saying? Your friends are telling you, you can't do this. It's not worth it. It's not worth the sacrifice. No, you need to get rid of those friends. And truth be told, I have very few friends on purpose. I've been quarantined since last December 15th, when I had my quadruple bypass. And I've been quarantined ever since. Thankfully, I don't need a lot of friends, or I'd be probably depressed. Okay? But you do need the right ones that will encourage you and that can introduce you. None of my case, I hope Joe and Casey would never be embarrassed to introduce me to any CEO in America, because I can help any CEO in America. At least I believe I can. I might not, but I believe I can. And I would never be embarrassed to introduce either one of them. And many of you the same way. So I want to give you a couple secrets. I'm trying to hurry. I want to give you a couple secrets. There are some wealth principles that we need to be aware of when we're out hunting for clients and whale referral partners. Number one, if you were to put everybody on an alpha scale of A to Z by how much money they made, let's say, for instance, an A was 500,000 and up. Okay. A B was 450 to 500. A C was 3, whatever it is. Okay. You need to remember that no matter where you are on the scale, or the person you're trying to bring in as a customer or as a referral partner, they will only refer 1 up or 2 down. So if they're making $100,000 and that makes them a G, A, B, C, D, E, F, they'll refer you as high as an F down to an I. Very rarely is that G going to know an A. Now, an equalizer is church. I've been in Sunday school classes with multimillionaires and broke couples making $20,000 a year. That's about the only place that I have found equality. Why? Because when I lived in my last country club community, guess what? Everyone on my cul-de-sac were CEOs. All of us were. And guess what? We all played golf 3 to 5 times a week. Who'd we play with? Each other. And to prove that it's true, one night I was up in my office, in our home, and I heard our door knock at 9 o'clock. I'm thinking, good Lord, it's 9 o'clock. I hear my wife, the wife of my children, my first wife, she opens the door and I'm listening. And I hear her say, come on in. And I'm going, good Lord, what is she letting in the house at 9 o'clock at night? Well, I didn't hear anything. I figured it was a neighbor wife. I'm just back working. And she walks up an hour later or a half hour later and says, I need $150. I go, for what? She goes, I'm buying a knife. I go, one knife? She goes, yeah, I'm buying. I said, have you lost your mind, woman? She said, Craig and Elaine sent them over. They bought a knife from them. Oh, okay. I got my wallet out. I handed her $150. We weren't going to let Craig and Elaine up us on the knife guy. I mean, right? I mean, we were going to buy a knife because Craig and Elaine did. And he was the CEO, and we played a foursome at least 3 times a week. Our wives and us, and, by God, if they bought a $150 knife, I'm going to buy a $150 knife. So remember that when you're out hunting for people, they're going to refer 1 up or 2 down. So if they're making 70,000, they may refer you up to someone making 100, but they also may refer you to someone making 40. And if they can afford your product, great. But they can't afford me as an executive coach or Casey. They just can't, right? Okay, so here's principle number 2. Most people will not refer more than 5 years up or 5 years younger to people because that's their limited space. If they're 25, that means 20 to 30. So if you're a financial planner, how many 20-year-olds have money? Not very many. How many 30-year-olds have money? Not very many. As a financial planner, I wanted blue hair and gray hair because they had all the money. The grandmas had blue hair and their senior adult kids had gray hair, and they had all the money. So what were all my marketing activities to? 50 and up. That's why I could bring in $4 million a month of investment money because I was in the right pond with the right referral partners with the perfect client. My main influencer was a huge estate attorney, referred me to almost 30 clients a month. He did their estate. He said, give Tim your money. What'd they do? They gave me their money. Pretty good gig if you can get it, right? So remember these principles while you're out shopping and hunting for the right client or the right referral partner. There's 4 connection questions that really unlock the answers to growth and success. Number 1, who do you know? Who's the most important person you know other than Casey Eberhardt? I mean, he's like the top of the top, right? Who do you know? Number 2, how well are you connected? Number 3, do you know how to make a connection? And number 4, who knows you? Nobody knows me. That's the problem. Well, it's easy to get known, not fast. That's not. You notice I didn't say fast. I said easy. So if you've ever been a Kansas City Royals fan, which I have been for 30 years, I moved here in 1985 when they won the World Series, and then we didn't go for 30 years until 14 and 15. 14 we lost in 6 games, and in 15 we won in 6. And guess what? I was at every home game. In 15, which was on my bucket list to go to a World Series, and I was at every game, thanks to a friend. But if you know anything about the Kansas City Royals, they have, it should have been in the Hall of Fame already, but one of the best second basemen of all time, Frank White. Matter of fact, there's 4 statues out at Kauffman Stadium, and Frank White's is one of the 4. Well, Frank was my next door neighbor for 8 years. 8 years. And I coached Little League baseball, and he was coaching minor league at the time after he had retired from the major. And every morning we talked about baseball out in the driveway before we went to work. Frank and I are still dear friends. We haven't lived next to each other for about 15 years. And he called me up a couple of weeks ago. Hey, Tim, I have an opportunity. How did we met him kind of in a funny way. We were building a brand new home on a lake, and our realtor pointed across the lake and said, you see that home over there? And I said, yes. He goes, that's Frank White's house. I go, oh, cool. I crossed the lake. I wasn't buying a boat to get over there, And then my realtor called me and said, guess what? He's building on that empty lot next door to you. I go, really? And here I was insurance, and ideas of grandeur of insuring all the royals and doing their, I mean, I just, had all these big ideas, right? And so I'll never forget, broke ground on the, we were the third home out of 400 in that subdivision. 3 years of construction, dirt and dust in there. But anyway, so they built the home and it got framed in. And my wife and I used to go to all the new homes and walk through them, to see the floor plans and all that. Well, one night she's in there about dusk. It's about dark. She's upstairs in the master bedroom. And Frank and Teresa, his wife, walk in the bedroom. Scares my wife half to death. It's dark and anyway, she goes, oh, I'm so sorry. And she goes, my name's Rhonda Chin, and I live next door. And he goes, don't worry. He said, we walked through your house 100 times. And I go, oh, okay. And then she brought him over to our house, and that's how our friendship started. And I can't tell you how many good things Frank has included me in over the years with professional athletes and different things, just wanting to be a friend. I'll never forget, he called me one day, said, can you come over and hang out? I go, which was kind of unusual. I go, yeah, why? He goes, because Teresa's got her 2 sisters and her mother and her aunts here, and I got to get out of here. Can we just go down? So I went over and watched a baseball game with him, and so who do you know? All right, I have to hurry. So here, if you want to be, I'm going to close with this. I can go on for another 2 hours. But if you want to know what whales expect of you as a potential insurance agent, realtor, whatever, or as a business partner, they expect respect of them. And I don't mean idol worship. I mean just respect. There's certain things you do and you don't do. Okay? They expect you to be competent and confident. Well, I'm a brand new insurance. I've never written insurance before in my life. Storm Davis, who was the star pitcher for the Royals for Kevin Napier, excuse me. I went out to his $3 million home and wrote a $6 million insurance policy. And you know who he had there? He had his agent and a CPA there. And I started asking him questions that they should have asked him. And he looked at them and they looked at him. I said, do you have your major league contract handy? By the way, I had never seen a major league contract before. He said, yeah, and had a sister go get it. Brought me to it. They're like 30 pages, right? I started flipping through. I knew what I was looking for. I was looking for his group insurance as a major league player. Well, I got to it. You know what it said? 6 months after leaving the major leagues, you no longer have group life insurance. And he looked at his CPA, he looked at his manager and said, what the have you guys done? What am I paying you for? Well, it didn't make me in good light with them, but he sensed I was competent, right? Because I was able to decipher a major league baseball contract. They expect the highest level of service. They expect confidentiality. They don't expect you to drop their name that you're one of their clients or that they're one of yours without their permission. Now, I'll always ask if my relationship's deep enough. Do you mind if I state that you're a client? And with permission, I'll do that, but not without permission. They want an advisor, not a salesperson. And finally, they want results. That's what they want. And if you can provide those things to whales, you have a better than average chance of being able to work with them, but it always leads with an act of generosity. There again, there's nobody you can't find an address at now with the internet. Go to Premium White Pages. You'll find me in there, and you'll find my address. And so approach them by always being thankful for what what they've done for the community, what they've done in success. And there again, if you're newer in insurance, if you're a newer realtor, a newer lender, a newer whatever, then my advice to you is to go find a newer person in those other fields and create your own referral team of young, hungry people that are at the same status as you are. Now, let me close with this. If you want someone to mentor you, I have a handful of people I coach for free because they approached me in the right way. They just said, Tim, I've been a big fan, and I don't think I can afford you, but I'll do anything you tell me to do. I promise. Blah, 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 blah. So first thing, I've got a young man in LA I'm coaching that way now. So first thing you have to do, you have to join Banner Season. He goes, okay. And he joined. I said, we'll coach for Banner Season because he was hungry. But there again, if you want someone to mentor you, what they're looking for is, will you give them your mindset and will you do everything they tell you to do? Because they don't have time to jack with you. Now, if you're paying me, I'll jack with you for a while, because you're paying me $1,500 an hour. But if I'm telling you to do something for free and you give me the least resistance, we're done. Because my time's too valuable. And yours is too. Okay? So make sure if you want to get close to somebody, I think Joe would say in our 4 or 5 month friendship, I supported him from day one. I'm not on the calls every morning because I need to learn something new. I'm here to support Joe because he's my friend. I'm here to support my 5 or 6 people that are on here this morning. It's not for my edification or for me to, get a whole lot more. And so I support Joe from day one. Casey got me an introduction call to him, I think within 2 weeks, once we were putting on a few folks too. So that got his attention. But these are things you can do, but always be looking to meet and work with that one person that can change your life. And then always give back to those whose lives you can change. And if you'll do those 2 things, you'll never run out of prospects. You'll always have someone to talk to. And the chances are you'll be able to get off to a fast start versus a slow start in your business. And with that, I turn it back over to my good friend, Mr. Joe Kenmore.
Thank you, Timothy Chin. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, really, really important information. I've dealt with many influencers in Wales, and he is absolutely 100% correct. They expect competence, confidence. Confidentiality is a big deal to them. They don't want you screaming their name from the rooftops that they're doing business with you. They just don't. And they want results. And I want all of our customers to get the results they want. I want all of us to get the results we want. So thank you, Timothy Chen, this morning for giving us your time and your knowledge, most importantly, giving us your knowledge and giving of it freely. Thank you so much, so much. Anyway, let's end this call right now. If you're looking for Timothy Chen, I don't know, there's probably too many Timothy Chens out there on Facebook, but go look him up. I'm sure you will find him. Yeah, look for the bald-headed guy. Like me, good haircut, never hurts anybody, right? Anyway, thank you, everybody. To the customers that are here for the first time, thank you for your business. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for understanding who we are and building your business and getting the results you need with us. We appreciate you very much. From everybody at Mailbox Power, thank you. And have a great day. Bye-bye.